Talking about Manchester United, guys, what happens now? What's next? Because Man United missed on a target they wanted. They wanted Mateus Fernandes, but they couldn't pay that money. So it's important to say in a very clear way that Manchester United will still sign a midfielder. Man United were planning to sign 2. One is going to be Ederson, and they will still sign one more, at least one more. Then, many of you asking me about Tchouaméni now. Tchouaméni is a dream signing for Man United. They love the player. But at the moment, the financial of the deal are considered still too high. Because also the salary is not just about Real Madrid, it's also about the salary. The salary of Aurélien Tchouaméni is considered too high. So the only way to open doors to Aurélien Tchouaméni to Manchester United after missing on Mateus Fernandes is to discuss a completely different salary. And at the moment, it's still not something happening. So let's follow the situation. Now, obviously, for Man United will be about reassessing the situation and then try and understand what's going to happen with the new midfielder. But for sure, it's a position they still want to cover. Then, talking about midfielders, guys, I wanted to mention today also the situation of Alex Scott, the midfielder from Bournemouth, one of the most interesting midfielders in Premier League, English player, of course, and so also a plus, especially for the English top clubs, when they have the possibility to go ahead with this kind of players. Obviously, is important for English clubs to have English players in their squad.
Ben Jacobs last night actually put a post out replying to somebody that had misquoted him about Fernandez, and what he said is, let's see what happens if West Ham get the bidding war they want, or if it falls away. Talks are still ongoing with Manchester United, but I sense United prefer to put these types of deals onto the next financial year, meaning the window won't really get going until July. And you sort of like go, what? And that's legitimately from Ben Jacobs last night. It came in at about midnight last night. Let's see if West Ham get the bidding war they want. If it doesn't, talks are still ongoing anyway, and I sense United prefer to do a deal like this in the next financial year, meaning the window won't really get going until July. And again, I'm sort of sat here going, wait a minute though. I mean, United haven't told us that. United haven't put that out there. They've been more than happy for us to think a deal's going to happen tomorrow. And yes, July is next week, tick short, snaps. But July is also in 5 weeks as well. Doesn't mean because July starts, well, it's not even a week away, mate, actually. It's a week and a half away. But it doesn't mean because July starts in a week and a half, we're going to sign Fernandez on the 1st of July. I just think this stay calm thing is a little bit narrow. It's a little bit weak. It's fundamentally quite flawed. Because as we're staying calm and taking our time and doing deals when we prefer to do them, there's an expose there. You bid for Semenyo in December. That would have cost you 65 million quid. Where's that money gone? That 65 million pounds was there. You obviously had that money in this financial year and you've not spent any of it. Because Ederson's next financial year. And now Fernandez is next financial year. So what you're telling me is we're so financially comfortable now that we have got money to spend this year, but we're not going to bother. We're going to lump it into next year because we're so bloody wealthy. Well, we know that's not true. So why have we not figured out that we had money from Semenyo to spending this financial year, which we haven't spent, but we're not going to spend, we're going to push it into July? I thought that was the whole point of this June month, was to actually get something done before June the 30th and close a deal in this financial year, like we would have done for Semenyo, to spread the cost. Apparently not. Apparently not. So that's a little bit confusing in itself. But also, it's all right saying you like to do these deals in July. I think the big mic drop here is 12 months knowing we need to rebuild a midfield, 12 months needing a midfield, but ultimately we've got nothing planned in July. So I'm sort of looking at it and I'm going, sorry, we're planning to do stuff in July, and I'm sort of looking at it going, we need 3 midfielders. We've known for 12 months we need 3 midfielders. We need to replace Casemiro. And the message is stay calm. We like to do these things in July. And I'm sort of like, well, you need to do 2 more things in July. In fact, you probably need to do about 5 things in July. And they need to be major things. And it's a very competitive market. And what happens if you don't get what you want in July? Where are we then? The prices are going up for everybody. I mean, look, the Alex Scott update is we like Alex Scott, but the price is difficult because it's a lot more than Man United would have thought. And look, I'll put my hands up. I would have thought Alex Scott, 2 years left on his contract, under £60 million. He's had a decent season and a half for Bournemouth, who are a decent Premier League side, but £70 million with 2 years left on his contract. Are you having a laugh? But that's the sort of prices that are happening. And I know that's the wrong price. You know it's the wrong price. Bournemouth know it's the wrong price. But the market's being dictated by the inflated midfield market, where Elliot Anderson is probably going to go for 110 million or more. Mateus Fernandes is probably going to go for £70 million or more. Tonali's going to probably go for about 90 or with add-ons. So Bournemouth are going to go, we want 70. So it's all right going, we like to do deals in July and stay calm. But fundamentally, it's not. It would have been better for us to do deals in early June. It would have been better. You know what I mean? It's like walking into a shop and it's a busy shop and there's a limited amount of stock and the shop owner puts their prices up. What are you going to do? That's not fair. You need to buy the stuff. If we'd got into the shop early before the queues and got what we wanted, we could have got in, got out, saved some money and also been in a much better situation. So I do question the negotiation tactics of Manchester United when they desperately need 3 midfielders and they're sat there going, we like to do deals in July, watching the prices of everybody we want go up. Because if we've got £150 million to spend on 3 midfielders, but prices go up by 20-30%, you might only get 2. And that worries me because there is a lot of talk of only buying 2 midfielders. We know this football club's a business, and if they've set, and I guarantee they have, if they've set a limit on what they want to spend, and they thought that limit was going to get them 5 or 6 players, and actually it's only going to get them 3 or 4, we'll only get 3 or 4. I don't think there's anybody in this chat or anybody in this fan base that thinks if United have set a limit on what they're going to spend to get 5 or 6 players and it only gets them 3 or 4, they'll only get 3 or 4. Because they will stick to their limits. So, look, stay calm. Fine, stay calm. Do I think we'll get Mateus Fernandes? I still do. Do I think Spurs are a threat? Yes. Do I think this summer transfer window could fall on its arse? Yes. Do I think it will? I still hold hope that it won't. But I don't like the strategy again. Because as I've said to you before, I do remember the summer where Liverpool bought 4 midfielders in one summer. And it was very, very strategic. It was very on point, and you felt they'd been planning it for months. United need to get a similar midfield done. It doesn't look like we've been planning it for months. Doesn't look very strategic, and looks like we're flying on the seat of our pants a little bit here.
Mateus Fernandes, one of the biggest battles in the recent months on the market, has been agreed as a deal with Tottenham Hotspur. So it's done. Mateus Fernandes will play for Tottenham Hotspur and not for Manchester United. Man United have been in conversation for a long time with Mateus Fernandes till this morning. I can guarantee to you that before lunchtime, Manchester United were still in contact with the agent of the player, still in contact with West Ham, but what made the difference, as I always told you, is the transfer fee. Because Manchester United were not matching £85 million valuation in full. So this was the plan. They were never going to pay £85 million in full, but they were prepared to reach £85 million, including add-ons. So this was the strategy. This was the idea, to get closer to £85 million with add-ons. Tottenham arrived with £85 million guaranteed fee, fixed fee, no add-ons, no future stories. West Ham have the guarantee they wanted. I always told you the price, it was 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, I told you the price to sign Mateus Fernandes is £85 million. And now the player has been paid £85 million. I told you in a video 2 days ago, the payment terms are going to be important, so they don't want a structure with too many add-ons, with too many complicated ways to reach the price, and now the price has been reached in full, £85 million for a player strongly wanted by Roberto De Zerbi. De Zerbi was pushing like crazy behind the scenes to get Mateus Fernandes. It was not easy for Tottenham to get the green light from the player, with Man United involved, playing Champions League football. Tottenham were in trouble till the final day of the Premier League season, so it's a completely different situation. But now we can say that Tottenham have agreed all terms with Mateus Fernandes and also with West Ham. So £85 million, the most expensive deal in history for Tottenham, more than Xavi Simons, more than Solanke, and so for sure an important addition, one more, for Roberto De Zerbi. So we will be following all the next movements because Tottenham remain in conversations with Newcastle for Sandro Tonali. So we have to see also the outcome of that conversation between Tottenham and Newcastle, but for sure they are working very hard to rebuild the midfield. Guys, on this and much more, let me know your opinion in the comments. As always, I wait for your comments on obviously Mateus Fernandes and all the rest. As always, I will see you soon.